And this is video number 2, me driving GLE 53 on the twisty roads. All right, I'm gonna throw it in Sport Plus and let's go. Wow, so loud, love it. When it shifts, you even hear like a little feedback. So cool. All right, so for many of you who are watching 100 Mile Drive for the first time, well, the reason I'm bringing cars on the twisty roads is twisty roads is where what I call putting car here in the orchestra, right? Where you put everything more, a little bit more to the test, to the stress. Like your braking, your chassis, your engine has to work a little more. So everything has to work a little bit more. And that's where you get to see the car's balance, how the chassis works. You get to see the performance overall. And if somebody brakes in front of you, how would this car behave in a dangerous situation? All of that you get to see. Now, we're already taking some corners. Here's another one. Now, this car tightens up in Sport Plus, the air suspension. So overall, I'm pretty impressed with how air suspension here delivers on the performance side. There is a body lean, like it leans, let's say, to the right now, and then it stays pretty flat through the corner. Now, it has really wide tires in the rear, so it grips pretty well, but I can tell I'm operating a heavy car overall. Now, there's a little kind of a lean on left, which is pretty natural, but then it just stays flat through the corner. Another corner here. All right, there we go. Now, how is it different than X5? X5, even though it's about 200 pounds lighter, it manages to shift its weight, to carry its weight with a little less effort. It's a little bit less effortless, right? It's more effortless. And the steering is more pointy in the X5, X6. So this does pretty well, but the interesting thing is, like, I don't feel like I'm slicing the corner. The feel I'm getting when I'm taking these corners, like, yes, suspension is holding it in place. It doesn't bounce. It doesn't wobble. There's no dancing of the chassis, which is great. But I don't feel satisfied on how it's taking the corners. Like, even though X5 is a more relaxed car, it feels a little bit more satisfying on how it attacks the corner. So that tells me this car is not for enthusiasts, right? Like, you don't want to aggressively attack corners, even though it's capable. But the way you feel in the car, how you kind of shift and how it takes the corner, it doesn't have that slicing motion that you will, get in like an X5, or of course in my X3 M40i, or in a Porsche. But nevertheless, it's pretty engaging. Man, the exhaust note alone is worth this car. I mean, yeah, you can go fast. And the cool thing about this car, it inspires confidence. It has the confidence because it does everything really, really well. Like the balance of me braking, accelerating, taking turns aggressively. There's no moments or movements of the chassis where it feels dangerous or where it feels like, oh my God, like you shouldn't do it in this car. No, it does everything really, really well. It just delivers it in the more luxurious kind of style, in its own style, where, like I said, it's not for enthusiasts. It's a car not for enthusiasts, but rather for those who appreciate luxury that this will have over the X5 or X6. And yet its air suspension will still deliver plenty of performance that is fun, that's playful. You can really have fun with this car on the twisty roads. And exhaust, my goodness. The thing I fell in love with this car is exhaust notes and the way you can configure it, the way you can play around with it. Like, you can literally shut it down, shut the pipe, or you can turn it up and just enjoy. All right, so this is it. Just a quick glimpse of what it's like driving this Mercedes on the twisty roads. Let me go ahead and summarize this. And I just completed driving Mercedes GLE 53 AMG for video number 1 in the city and highway, and video number 2 on the twisty roads to show you what is the performance like of this car. And let me tell you, I am really impressed with this vehicle. I am impressed with its luxury. I think this cabin is absolutely fantastic. My favorite part is the steering wheel. It looks so gorgeous and very well thought out. Even everything else, I like the combination of buttons and the curved screen, unlike the X6 or X5 where they put literally just everything in the screen for the refresh models. Also, I mean, overall feel does feel more upscale than the BMW X5 or X6. Now, in terms of the driving dynamics, BMW X5 or X6 will feel a little more relaxed but more connected to the road, but that's partly also because of the steel suspension, like a regular suspension, and also the steering in the BMW feels a little more pointy, more direct than this. But yet this car is not trying to outbeat BMW on performance. It's trying to give you the luxury feel. It's trying to show you that, hey, look, I'm expensive, I'm upscale. But at the same time, its air suspension is tuned, I think, fantastically to deliver on comfort when needed, right? And then the aggressive, fairly aggressive driving when you want to still play with it on your back roads. So I think they've done a phenomenal job with this car. I'm highly pleased with this vehicle. Now, in terms of, is it worth $10,000 more than the X5 or X6? X6, right? Now, the answer is, I think yes, if you want the luxury. X6 does not have direct vehicle that can compete with this, right? This is more power. This is specifically tuned by AMG. They put a lot of standard equipment like air suspension, Burmese tire, audio system. By the way, speaking of the audio system, I didn't mention on the highway, I kind of like it. I like the bass of it, but I don't like the acoustic sound in it. I think the Harman Kardon that I have in the X3 M40i with 16 speakers feel like it has a better surround sound. But the best part about sound here is that the rear passengers can exact the same quality of sound as the front, driver and passenger. So they've done really good balance of that. But I was a little bit disappointed that it doesn't feel as, surround as it is in my car in the X3 M40i. But nevertheless, still good audio system. So, which car I would personally get, X6 or this? I would maybe get this, even though I'm, BMW enthusiast, because for SUV, sometimes I'm okay to have more comfort because this is not a 911, right? In 911, I don't want this kind of suspension. I want the proper suspension. But for this luxury SUV, I like what they did here. But am I 100% sure? I'm not sure. Let me know what do you think, and if this video gets 10,000 views and maybe 200 likes, similarly to what I got on my X5 versus X3 M40i, I will bring X6 next, drive that same way I drove this car, and at the end I'll tell you which car I would 100% get, this or that one. And for now, if you want to watch another video, then make sure to watch my video where I compare X5 to my X3 M40i. That video did pretty well on my channel for a specific reason. And I'll catch you in my next video.